Hello, readers of Every Word, and welcome to Every Word 365. I'm your host, Christina Munoz-Madsen, and today we're reading Job 40 through 42, the end of another book. Are you facing a severe test of your faith today? View it not as a sign that God has left you, but as a token of His desire to deepen your commitment. Complete this sentence. Though I do not understand why, God is asking me to show my trust in Him by blank. Again, if this book was a struggle for you to read, you are not alone. And here are some more resources if you're interested, and always reach out to me if you need more to discuss. I'm including a link again on the patience of Job, as well as a link on Job being blameless and upright. I know this can be very difficult, and that, of course, was from today's My Daily Walk in Your Bible. It's a great way to tie in what we're reading to you, your life, your struggles, your suffering. And I hope that you have heard something from God in all of this, and it has comforted you and not turned you away or pushed you away. Like I've said, I usually need to read it more than once, but I'd really love to hear from you about your thoughts on the book of Job. He never really gets his questions answered. I tried to warn you about that, but he learns that he doesn't have to understand God in order to trust God. So what did you learn from Job? I'm now including a link about the life of Job and what we can learn from it from Got Questions, and this is from that link. Perhaps the greatest lesson we learn from the book of Job is that God does not have to answer to anyone for what he does or does not do. Job's experience teaches us that we may never know the specific reason for suffering, but we must trust in our sovereign, holy, righteous God. His ways are perfect. That's in Psalm 18:30. Since God's ways are perfect, we can trust that whatever He does and whatever He allows is also perfect. We can't expect to understand God's mind perfectly, as He reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." That, of course, is Isaiah 55, 8 through 9. I have been sharing that verse with you from the beginning of our reading to let you know that we will not understand it all. And I hope you know that going into this. Our responsibility to God is to obey Him, to trust Him, and to submit to His will, whether we understand it or not. When we do, we will find God in the midst of our trials, possibly even because of our trials. We will see more clearly the magnificence of our God, and we will say with Job, "My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you." That's in Job 42:5. And while we're in the midst of a conversation about not knowing why bad things happen and trying to understand it all, I feel compelled to share a personal loss of my Bible study leader, Sarah, from several years ago. The pastor she worked with while she was in Jerusalem was later killed in Iraq. He had been posting on Facebook that he was traveling there with some 500 Bibles and sharing the gospel. He left behind a wife and 3 kids. I invite you to read this blog post about him in hopes of better understanding this world, the importance of purpose, and coming to terms with our own mortality. However, be warned, just like I warned you about Job, it is tough stuff to read. If you are struggling with depression or low self-worth, you may want to skip this and save it for a later time. I just send these links and hoping they help you, hoping they speak to you. Sometimes they won't, sometimes you won't like them. That's okay, and you can let me know that. This one is very tough, really talking about our purpose here on earth is not about us. And some people don't want to hear that. And so I just give you warning and pause, maybe pray about it a little bit before you read that article. And if you haven't watched the overview video yet, please do, at least the last couple of minutes, because it does a great job of explaining this book. So again, that is from the Bible Project, and it is the overview video of Job. I also want to check in with you all. Who is still with us? May is a busy, crazy month, so don't feel bad if you've gotten behind. Just put a paper clip around Job or whatever you missed and start Psalms with us tomorrow. So share with me what you thought of Job and where you are in this journey, then get ready for Psalms, which for me personally is one of the toughest books. I'll explain more and why as we go. In closing, it is my prayer that we can all have the takeaway Job did as written in the overview today. Now Job is willing to trust God completely, even though he doesn't completely understand His ways. That is my prayer for all of us. Okay, we're at June 1st. Next is Psalms 1 through 6. Don't worry, they are short. It's not as long as it sounds. Happy reading.